Please read the disclaimer. XRP holders, I have amazing news. You're going to want to watch this whole video to the end because we got the latest and the greatest news for you. What's happening with the ceasefire? What's happening with the markets? What's happening with the Clarity Act? We have a very important update on that. Currently, XRP is sitting at $1.35, Bitcoin at 71,000, Ethereum at 2,200. The market's pulling back a little bit after the celebrations in the morning regarding the ceasefires. The markets were pumping, but as soon as the stock market opened up, many stocks started falling. Crypto started falling. We'll talk about what happened there. Why was that going on? All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good vibes. Smishity smash that like button because likes are for free. Let's try to get 1,000 likes on this video. I know you guys can do it. Listen, I know most of you watch on your phone. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me, but you watch me on the phone. What can I do? To get the full AVI experience, you need to watch me in the IMAX theater. Okay? If you have that possibility. No, then you can see my freckles. Better on the phone. Then you can't see, I look much better maybe on the phone. You go take your finger and go boop, right? That's all you got to do. You can see I'm in a good mood, even though the markets are giving us some problems here. It's because, I'll tell you in just a second. Currently, like I said, XRP is sitting at $1.35. You can see that we had that breakout last night. And then as soon as stock market started trading, XRP dropped all the way to 134 to the resistance level, about an hour and a half of a sell-off. Now it's come back a little bit. This coincided, of course, with the NASDAQ pulling back as it's opened, or you can also look at the S&P 500 pulling back. There were many stocks that actually even went into the red, like Palantir dropped 4%. Tesla went into the red. It was very interesting what was happening. Some popped, on news like Meta popped, and so that's holding the markets up for now. The VIX dropped significantly, 20%, but as you can see, it is still over 20. And remember, anything over 20 is still kind of bearish, right? Anything under 20 is getting a little bit more bullish. So, we have to take that into consideration. Oil is still at 96. So oil sold all the way down to 91, but has come back over the past few hours. As you can see, it went to 91, now back to 96. There's a little bit of uncertainty about what could potentially happen here. And it will be very interesting. Ooh, Bitcoin also hit resistance and then started selling off. Very interesting how that plays out sometimes. And if we go and we look at the tomorrow, we have, of course, meeting minutes in another 30 minutes. The FOMC meeting minutes is coming out in 30 minutes from now when I'm recording. And we have tomorrow the PCE, which is the preferred inflation index of the Fed, and the GDP and initial jobless claims coming out tomorrow, all at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So that could put investors a little bit in fear. And it's interesting. I just read someone talking about how potentially buyers aren't really back yet. There's a lot of put selling and not a lot of call buying. That's the current situation. And that's why we're seeing so much fluctuation with the stock market. So we'll see how this plays out. Again, XRP, I wanted to have a closure over the trend line. So far, we're seeing a little bit of a pullback. Hopefully it doesn't come back in, because then that could send us into a downward movement, into the downside there. So hopefully that does not happen, but we shall see where we're going to go from here. We'll find out going into tomorrow. So basically what's happening right now is there's uncertainty about the ceasefire. And that's what's putting into the markets, putting it into a little bit of turmoil here. Donald Trump tweeted out, the president tweeted out, there's only one group of meaningful points that are acceptable to the United States, and we are discussing them behind closed doors during these negotiations. So, basically what's happening now is, before they said, we're going to have a ceasefire, but then they're like, well, there's only about 3 points that we agree on from these 10 points. And the US is probably only going to say yes to 2 or 3. You remember when we read those 10 points, I told you that though they're not probably going to happen. And now the president is kind of pulling back a little bit. And he says these points are the basis on which we agreed to a ceasefire. It is something that is reasonable and can easily be dispensed with. It's very much like fake news CNN, headlining a source that no power of authority to write a letter claiming great authority. And so what's happening right now is there's talks that the passage of oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz has been stopped. Iran says it will withdraw from ceasefire if Israel continues attacks on Lebanon. What's happening right now is that Israel is saying that Lebanon is not part of the agreement, and Israel will not formally be part of the Iran negotiations, and is happy that it got word that the deal was finalized in a later stage. The Israeli government is saying that Lebanon is not part of this because there is still a lot of unfinished business there. Basically, what's going on is when the Iran-Israel-America war started, Hezbollah, that is not Lebanon, right? It's a terrorist organization that operates in Lebanon. Even the Lebanese government wants them out, started firing rockets into Israel. Israel didn't attack Lebanon. It was with Iran. Lebanon, or Hezbollah, started firing rockets. And people live there, right? And there's hundreds and thousands of rockets that were being into Israel. So the government's like, hey, we can't leave it like this because we could have another 7th of October from the north. We can't leave it like this. So they're not in agreement. And so now that is creating a situation where these are the headlines that Israel is attacking Lebanon. Trump says Lebanon wasn't part of the deal. Iran threatening to stop ship passage unless attacks on Lebanon stop. Pakistani Prime Minister calling for both sides to honor the agreement. The lack of certainty once again has created choppiness with individual stocks, but oil is down 15%, S&P is still up 2.3%, and the VIX is still down 18%. Massive move could retrace, but the buyers, whether algos retail, have come in. Maybe it'll be exit liquidity, and the talks fail, and we go back to the current situation. Right now, I have some good news for you. That's the amazing news that we just got a info that the kids are going back to school tomorrow. So does that mean that the government thinks that things are going to cool off? Maybe. There was a vacation until now for about a week or so, 2 weeks. And now they're like, okay, going back to school, no Zoom, no nothing. So amazing, of course. For me, it's great. But that's the question. Will this collapse and will we come back home again, school for 2 days and then come back? We'll see. So that's going to be very interesting to see. As always, I just want to remind you that this video is for educational purposes, for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Very, very important. Also, remember that I will never contact you on social media asking you to sign up to anything or to send me anything. Those are scammers. Those are imposters. Please, please, please be very careful out there. Okay. Don't fall for it. Okay. So now to the update from Eleanor on the Clarity Act and the response from Coinbase. So Eleanor says here, just in, the White House Council of Economic Advisors has released its study on stablecoin yield and its potential impact on deposits, flights, and banking lending. The same report she noted last month that Senate banking lawmakers were pressing the White House to release. The TLDR banning stablecoin yield would do little to boost bank lending, impose costs on consumers, and concerns around deposit flight are overstated. The data at baseline, eliminating yield across lending by just 0.2% is about $2 billion and results in a net welfare loss. On deposits flight, the report finds those concerns are quantitatively small, noting most stablecoin reserves remain within the banking system, with only a limited share truly removed from lending activity. In short, a yield prohibition would do very little to protect bank lending while foregoing the consumer benefits of competitive returns on stablecoin holdings, the executive summary reads. And Coinbase CLO tweeted out, the CEA report is finally out, and we now know why stablecoin rewards critics wanted it suppressed. The most respected economist in the government found nothing that shows reward cause deposit flight. Facts are hard sometimes. Now the question is, what's going to happen here? Are we going to see this pass? Are they going to get to an agreement now that it's out? Will they allow stablecoins to stay in? Will they still want the stablecoin yields to be removed? That's going to be very interesting, and we'll see how that potentially plays out over the next coming hours and days, because we're getting closer and closer to the end of April. Remember, it's already the 8th of April. Wow. I was just talking. Well, should I tell you this? Okay. So when I came back from Thailand, I got to the gym. I was 3 months in. Then my wife had her surgery, and I pulled my back. And I said, okay, I'm going to take a break. And from here to there, it's already been 2 months with the war, with everything. The war is already over a month. And I said, I can't believe I was there for only 3 months and I'm already out for 2 months. So it's 5 months since I came back. It's kind of wild. Time has gone by so fast. And it soon will be in October of 2026, right? And the question is going to be, how is the market going to play out? Do you think the Clarity Act will eventually pass, or is this we're just in Hebrew we say litchon maim, which means to grind water, right? Because when you grind water, nothing happens. So when you're sitting and doing nothing, or you're doing something that has no outcome, that's the saying, grinding water. So do you think we are grinding water and we're just passing time for this to get pushed down and never pass, and the crypto market lose out on the potential of the Clarity Act, even though the SEC and the CFTC have given their guidance? A law that is put into place is a lot harder for a different administration. If we get a new SEC chairman, a new CFTC chairman that is anti-crypto, they could reverse the decisions that the SEC made. You see how hard it is to pass a law. So it would be very hard for, let's say, Democrats come in and they're anti-crypto. I don't know, maybe some of these Democrats, and they want to reverse it. It would be a lot harder. They would need majority, and they would need also Democrats that maybe are pro-crypto to vote against it, so or pro it. So it's a lot harder to get a bill passed. We've seen this already. So it will be very interesting to see what happens here over the next 24 hours. Where does the market go from here? Let me know in the comment section. What do you think? Pump or dump? Is this a bull trap or a bear feast? Don't forget to smash the like button. Check out the links in the description down below. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. Like I always say, let's make a lot of money.